CITADELS of the Sun is an Irish and Rajasthani music collaboration birthed in 2019 as a commission by Earagail Arts Festival and RIFF, Rajasthan International Folk Festival. Going into 2021, the project has played shows in both Ireland and Rajasthan with a 40-minute suite of new composed works. Now, with the backing of British Council, the show can afford to develop and expand through research and further composition that'll complete a 60-minute stage show. Initially, the new works were fusion pieces containing aspects of Irish traditional, Rajasthani folk and modern composition, with elements that could be identifiable to both Irish and Indian audiences while still maintaining a modern sound. The question I asked myself of how we could further develop this project is how we could present this work on a wider international scale. In order to do so, we would have to contextualise what we were doing. With 40 minutes of music already composed, I seen an opportunity at each end of the show to bookmark, with pieces delving into the artists, their instruments, their surrounding environments, their souls.
This fiddle was my dad's fiddle. I was very happy to be able to take it to India with me. It's travelled a lot, it's like my companion really on a lot of trips. But my dad, God rest him, would have bought it in Boyce's shop in Kerrygart, and I think late 40s, early 50s. And yeah, so he was interested in playing it, and he'd ordered it, and they got one in for him. And I found out one evening at a music meeting that we were doing, someone asked him how much he paid for it, and he had said he paid £12 for the fiddle. And at that time, the man turned around to me and he said, "You have to look after that fiddle," because he said £12 in the early 50s was 12 weeks' wages. So I was like, oh, I didn't realise it was so. I mean, it's an average fiddle, but it's very precious to me. Sentimentally, it's a very precious fiddle to me, so I love it. So it was nice to get to take it to India with me. It was like a wee piece of home,
The companion to the fiddle in the group is the sarangi. Played masterfully by Asen, the sarangi is often referred to as the instrument of 100 colours. With its siren-like hypnotic call and melodic phrases and sympathetic strings, it's difficult not to get lost in its sound. The back and forth with fiddle and sarangi in the group not only gets to put both bowed stringed instruments in the spotlight, but it shows us how we can perfectly communicate and emote through sound. To me, the main strength of the project came from the diversity of the artists, not just musically, but geographically. With Asen and Sawai coming from the deserts of Rajasthan, Paul and myself's border town surroundings in the walled city of Derry, and Sarah's background in neighbouring Donegal, lots of elements were at play. Walking around the Derry walls and looking down over the city evoked memories of standing in the Mirangar fort towering over the blue city of Jodhpur, albeit on a much smaller scale, towards the mountains of Donegal and the water that surrounds us. Water, something so scarce and precious in some cultures, yet something so prevalent and second nature in others. The theme of water, it seemed, would form the basis of research that would inform our end-of-show composition. After being sent a variety of tunes to research and listen to from Rajasthan, there seemed to be one tune in particular that seemed to speak to us. The song that was sent to us, Pani Hari, highlights the importance of rainfall and water in a dry state like Rajasthan. The traditional art of fetching water, particularly by women, is where the song, through time, developed its melodious rhythm that narrates the necessity of water in the deserted areas, often speaking of flowing rivers or splashing waves.
Aston and Sally sent us some music recently. Sent about 6 or 7 tracks of them sitting playing in the desert. They're such accomplished musicians playing by ear. They could just, it's just free flow all the time. So some of the music they sent, me and Marty latched on the same things, curiously enough, in two of the 6 or 7 pieces. And there's these short bits that were sort of, I don't know, struck a chord with us, I think. And I think maybe the boys, as I say, their ear is that good that they're starting to play like us, and play sort of like in an Irish style. They're somewhere in the middle. We're meeting somewhere in the middle.
Having heard Asan and Sawai deliver this traditional piece to us, it'd be up to us now to digest it and interpret it, composing elements of our own that they too could draw off. As I mentioned, we have 40 minutes of new music composed for the project, and it was a real fusion. At that side of the project it was Irish-led to begin with, bringing in the musicians from Rajasthan. The remaining 20 minutes that we're currently doing through research is going to have a real focus on the folk music of Rajasthan and being able to present those traditional instruments and context.
Namaskar, मैं आसिम खान, मैं एक लंगा जाति से हूँ और मैं सिंधी सारंगी प्ले करता हूँ। जो इस सारंगी में जो स्ट्रिंग है वो है 26 तार इसमें आते हैं। जो मेन जो स्ट्रिंग है बजाने की है वो है स्टील की 2 तार जो मेन स्ट्रिंग है, और पीछे के 2 खर्ज के जो तार हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं रोदा, और ये बकरे की आंत से बनता है और मैं इनको खुद बनाता हूँ। और नीचे का जो है वो उनको बोलते हैं तबली, जो बकरे की खाल से बनाई जाती है। तो ये सारंगी का है। और एक इनको बोलते हैं गज, जो घोड़े की पूंछ का बाल है उनसे ये बनता है। और ये सारंगी जो है शीशम की लकड़ी से बनाई गई है। और इस सारंगी को जो एक ही खाल है इनको 1 साल से दूसरा लगाना पड़ता है। तो अभी इनको 5 साल हो गए, क्योंकि इस सारंगी को मेरे पिताजी बजाते थे और उन्होंने ही मुझे ये सारंगी सौंपा है। तो मैं इनको जैसा पिताजी का हाथ का जो भी बना हुआ है जो उनके साथ ही मैं बजा रहा हूँ सारंगी। और इस खाल को मढ़े हुए 5 साल हो गया अभी। तो मेरे पिताजी का हाथ की जो भी निशानी है तो मैं इनको खोलना नहीं चाहता और नया बनाना चाहता हूँ। बस जैसा भी है मैं इनको प्ले करता हूँ। तो मैं आपको बजा के थोड़ा सुनाता हूँ।
Irish instruments going to have a spotlight in the main concert performance. On the other side of that, we're also going to present the Irish instruments in context as well, such as the Elaine pipes and Donegal fiddle.
The fiddle and the sarangi work out quite well, just because they're string bowed instruments. You know, they just work well together. And you're used to playing to a beat or to a rhythm or something. So I really found it was easy to play with a san. You know, a san's very easy to play with, and like he's very open. And it was I just thought it was a lovely thing that, you know, we hadn't a word of Indian and they hadn't a word of English really, and we managed to communicate really well musically. You know, it really showed that music's a totally universal language, like us, you know. So and instruments helped that. So it was kind of like a translator, having your instrument with you.
And really seemed to be working as well. It seems to be coming together, and I think there's definitely a connection now where there wasn't so much in the first phase. We had to work at the connection. This time I think we've kind of connected on some level. We understand one another better through the music, and I think it's starting to flow better. So I feel good about these new movements of the work. I hope people like them. I've enjoyed playing them so far, and we'll see where it goes.
Working remotely has afforded us the opportunity to develop the project to the next level, and we're truly excited about the prospect of being able to see the musicians in person again. Ironically, our first 5 movements told a fictional tale of souls a world apart, yearning for the other. And here, 1 year on, we look at ourselves reaching out across the world to artists, collaborating in hope of better times. With our show now fully mapped and planned, we look forward to sharing the stage again and making a reconnection.